Right. So I think, if I'm a parent,
Mhm.
right, and I have two daughters and I wanted them to grow up and at the right time and with the right person have a healthy sexual
Mhm.
relationship. Um, and that was, my wish and that was what I wanted. So I wanted to uh, make sure that they had some healthy information about sex before they got to that point. Unfortunately, kids are using pornography as sex ed
Mm.
because there are so many parents, even today, even millennial, but that are having a really hard time talking to their kids about
Mm.
sex. And I did a study myself. Actually, it was more like a qualitative study where I linked arms with a very educated and noted uh, person who was in a graduate program, and he knew about this theory called jobs to
Mhm.
be done. And basically, the idea is that I was studying was, why are kids
Sure.
hiring porn? What job are they trying to get done that they go to porn
Mm.
to do? And so we actually just we interviewed, and it was a specific kind of interviewing technique, but we interviewed 10 people who had identified as, addicted to porn or in recovery. And it was 8 men and two
Mm.
women. And the one thing, and we identified 7 different jobs that they hired porn to
Mm.
do for them. And it was very interesting. But the one thing that they had in common was that no one, when they were kids, no one had told them about sex. Their parents, right? They had to find out from other people. And, today, kids, if you don't talk to them about
Mhm.
sex from an early age, they have options. They have options. They can go find out about sex from the internet and Google and Snapchat. Heaven forbid that your child has Snapchat, but so much, so much grooming going on there, so much predation of children, sexploitation of children going on in Snapchat, and Instagram. But okay, so getting back to some of the, lesser, let's say your child doesn't act out on another
Mm.
child. Um, but there's also studies that show that children that, especially girls that look at pornography, they're kind of like groomed, right? So they're more likely to be sexually
Mhm.
active at younger ages and be willing to engage in more risky behaviors. Um, so that's one,
Mm.
problem. Let's talk about so this idea that pornography will hijack their sexual scripts.
Mm.
Pornography will teach them about sex in a way that is very unhealthy and that does not lead them to having healthy relationships, stable marriages, um, or even the ability to relate to, if you're a man, to relate to women in ways that are not
Mm.
objectifying, right? We talk about objectification a lot when we talk about pornography. And I just think the word objectification is not like, it needs to be always followed with or, linked with dehumanizing, because objectification is dehumanizing. When you look at a person and they're just a compilation of body parts, right? Um, that, you know, that is
Mhm.
dehumanizing. And if you teach your brain to dehumanize women or men, and make them just objects. In the book, Good Pictures, Bad Pictures, we talk about this on a very age appropriate way. But you know, if you have an object like a ball, you can kick
Mm.
the ball. Ball is not going
Yeah.
to cry, right? The ball is not going to be hurt. But if you kick your friend, they
Mhm.
would be hurt. and physically and emotionally. So I think that this objectification and it's teaching kids to objectify themselves, to dehumanize
Hmm.
themselves, to think that their only worth or their greatest worth is in how they look, not, you know, their contributions to society, not their intelligence, not their wonderful sense of humor, not their ability to show love and kindness. That's your goal. Then pornography, you don't want pornography to be a big influence on your children.